nasi taunganidza kune tambwe rudo inotisunganidza tose tiri mumwe nemumwe tiri pamwe chete kune tambwe rudo inotisunganidza tose tiri mumwe nemumwe tiri pamwe chete tinotenga zvikuru nekusanganisa pakakaparadzana nasi taunganidza tinotenga zvikuru nekusanganisa pakakaparadzana nasi taunganidza mambo Jesu akati ndekumente mumuta wekuti mudane mumwe nemumwe mambo Jesu akati ndekumente mumuta wekuti mudane mumwe nemumwe tinotenga zvikuru nekusanganisa pakakaparadzana nasi taunganidza tinotenga zvikuru nekusanganisa pakakaparadzana nasi taunganidza.
Ativamuchirire maoko zvakare hanzi tinotenda nokuti taunganidzwa zvinounganidza vanhu zvakasiyana-siyana. Some people are made to gather because somebody, a loved one, has passed on, and it's a sad moment. So let's be grateful to the Lord that today we are gathered not to cry, not to mourn, but to celebrate this event. Let me just call the testimonies. We have got the student representative, Namobe Pete. I'm going to give you exactly 5 minutes, please. 5 minutes because I'm behind time. He is representing the students.
Thank you, comrades. Central General, if it pleases you, all protocols observed. Right, my name is Andrea Pete. I'm the Assistant General Secretary of ZAL, and I was also a student among the students. I would like to say this has been not easy for us as students. For some of us, we were committed elsewhere, and by the nature of our offices, our duties were so demanding. But we are happy that we are gathered here today, together with you, celebrating with others this achievement. And I just want to say that this is a manifestation of ZCTU's vision. It's now taking shape. This is where we are. Every work is a self-portrait. It depicts a picture of who you are. And Secretary General, I want to say, this is who we are. And this is now where we are. And we are still hoping to go ahead and make you proud. All the same, I want to say we had a lot of challenges that we faced. As students, I only attended only one meeting as a student rep. We were not even accorded the chance to actually articulate most of the problems that we were facing as students. But all the same, that has been wiped out because today we are here celebrating and graduating. And I'm also one of the happiest students here in Comrade Chikamba, Mrs. Magaya, Nyasha Chigayo. I don't know where he is. Comrade Naomi, Comrade Banda. Yes, we were together. And Comrade Zet Mutimutema. We were very happy. Mr. Tarabuku, Comrade said, we are very happy It is going to be very difficult. We will be missing you as we go out. We will be greatly missing you, especially Mrs. Chikamba. Political economy is not been very easy. But I'm very happy that she is very persistent. She is a hard worker. She tried her best to make sure that all of us, we were happy in as much as we were coming from a very difficult background. In conclusion, I want to say that SG, we are also not happy about what is happening in South Africa. We are also politicians as well. We also want to express that we condemn what is happening and reservedly condemn that. And as ZCTU, we urge you to be in the media, on the public spot, to make sure that you make statements that are heard even by the government. We are not here. We are workers as well. They are workers as well. I thank you.
I was on the dot in terms of time. I'm always afraid because Namo, when he starts talking, he will not stop. So I was wondering if he was going to make the time. Can I call upon the representation from the tutors? I will also give you 5 minutes just to share your experiences with the program. Comrade Last Tarabuku.
Thank you, MC, President of ZCTU, and Secretary General, Deputy. Okay, I stand before you today to give my testimony on this CILS, expanded partner of the tutors. Like what my students say, we also receive. It has been a great experience for us as tutors. It was a mixed bag, and the journey was too long. Right? Our students were also a mixed bag. But we are happy to say that we managed to pull through, although there were a lot of complaints, particularly on assignments. Because almost every lesson had an assignment, almost every week. So it was too hard for some of the students, and the workload was also too heavy for some of the students. But I'm happy to stand before you and say it was a well done job, and I hope you are not going to disappoint us when you go out there. And it, so the USB mount is there. USB, I think it was well worth the training. I would like to thank you for your patience with some of us. Was about teaching pipelines, some of the tutors will also lose patience. Yeah. So you were very patient with us. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you very much. I don't know if he had finished, but I assumed by his silence that he had finished. You see, he's a journalist. If I give him too much time, he will begin to say the news in this room. But as you heard him, and as you heard the students, this was not an easy journey. It was a tough one. That's why I say congratulations to the students. They set the pace in a very difficult environment. The students that are going to follow are going to follow through a polished process where mistakes have been made and corrected. So let's give a pam-pam to these students. I will call upon the moderator, the representation of the moderators. They will also share their own experiences.
Shiga. Chipone shop steward voice for this kind of right. I'm sorry, President. Invited guests, I recognize the country representative of FES and Solidarity Center, among others, comrades and friends. I'm not going to say the nice things that others have been saying, because I'm a moderator. Students have to say something nice, and tutors have to say something nice, and the moderator says something different. This morning, we presented our report, which is 6 pages long. And it was in a meeting of more than 2 hours, am I right? So I will try to summarize. I'm not going to present this report again, but I have to highlight important aspects. Number one, what was the role of the moderators and who are the moderators? We are 3 of us. And there is Olini Mabika. She's not with us because she's not feeling well. There is Comrade Chenyika Fibion. Last week we were together for 4 days working on your papers, working on the report that took us almost 3 hours to present to the board today, this morning, and myself. Right, what was our task? Initially, we were asked to look critically at each module and comment. That we did, and your tutors can testify that there are volumes of our comments to their modules, the writers. I think the tutors were the writers of the modules. So we did critically look at each of the modules, which was not an easy task, right? And commented. I'm not going to give the comments to you. We have already submitted the comments to save on time. The second was to look at the exams. 1, the assignments that you were given. 2, the exam papers. And thirdly, we had then to look at how you responded to the assignments and the questions. And fourthly, we had then also to look at how your tutors marked your papers. Were they generous? Were they over-generous? Were they mean? Were they unkind with you? Right. And we also looked at how you people responded to those questions. So we had this mouthful. Our task was not an easy one. And we have not done this before. As this is a pilot phase, this was also our first time to be given this task within ZCTU. So we cannot say we have done our best, but we have done what we thought was the best for the program. Now, what do I want to highlight about all that? 5, the content of 5 of the modules, when you compare to other diploma courses that we undergo in other spheres, you can very well feel that these modules can also be suitable for a diploma course. one module, because of the complexity of the subject matter and the dynamism in that area, because it keeps changing all the time. That's information and communication. You know, it's a very dynamic area. New things come each day in communication. All right. It's a module that would require updating all the time to move according to time. All right. But we also felt that this module has a practical side of training. And as one of our recommendations, we recommended that maybe a basic practical course could be built in somehow in this course to give the students the opportunity, realizing that some of us are engineers who don't use computers all the time, who are not in the information and who are not in the ITC sector. So some basic practical course would be required. We made that recommendation. Right, that's about the content of your modules. We also looked at the questions that you people had to respond to, assignments. I would like to give a general comment without saying this particular module, these were the comments to that particular module. What we sort of realized was that your examiners or your tutors wanted very much to make sure that they produce something credible outside. They have set their tests. I wouldn't say they are difficult, but they are soul-searching questions. You really have to sweat to answer. This week we didn't realize when we were joking as moderators, but Shaman, we all not to do. Right. So the standard my exams amakanyora standard yacho haisi kushoreka ba from our point of view. Zvekuti anonzi apasa chokwadi wapasa zvichokwadi. Anonzi akapedza course the 6 months that you have gone or more, I don't know. Chokwadi akapedza course yacho. Right. So that's about the marking. My question, you yourselves, how you responded to the questions. Atina kuwana mukana sama moderators ekumboуя muchidzidza kusupervisor kana kuona kuti zviri kumbofamba sei. Saka tangokuonai mune zvamakanyora. That's what we know. And atisi kuti uyu ndiani, but strategy yatakaseenzesa ndeyekuti in each paper, in each model, taiverenga 3 mapepa. The best akapuwa the highest mark, the average ari pakati napakati, the lowest pepa rimwe nerimwe. Saka task yedu yanga isiri easy. Chatakaona chaizvo ndechekuti also being a trade union activist, wakazoendawo kuchikoro ndakubasa. Takaona commitment yakakura. Chatakakudza haazi mapassing mark amucha announceirwa na president kana amuchaona pamacertificates. Chatakakudza sama moderators, we could see your hearts into the work. Waiona kuti munhu ari kupindura nemoyo wako to the extent yokuti pamwe taizowedzera mamaki isusu kuti havenue maticha nokuti ndo vavachidzidzisana navanhu ava vavaomesa mwoyo. Hatingangowedzeriwo kana ne5 marks tichiona the level of commitment that you have put into the examination. Finally, therefore, I would like to say, I remember this taenda kuma seminar mudhara tichaenda kune dzimwe nyika soon after independence. Mugroup mangu imomo ndaiva nana who is still alive around we were told by a professor, and Professor Popov, ku Soviet Union. Putin, he came with a flower, lecture. Says, you see this plant? I said, yes. And what do you think about this plant? Said, this is a beautiful flower. This should be a euphorbia, shed my leaves, and so on and so on and so on. And he says, right, let me tell you a secret behind this plant. In case we were several countries. In case we need a plant. The secret, they are going to plant ukaboila malips ayo. Ukapamuno anonzwa asima. Inoderera. Akaramba achisenzesa inogona kutopora. Asima iyo, this plant. Mashinzo, kati yes. Tashinzo. Sika now, kana maina kumusha kwenyu, mukanowana planti. How many years shall it take you kuti uzive kuti planti ino batsira munhu anonzwa asima? Kati it doesn't take a minute. Kana ndatongoiona ndakutoishandisa papi? But it has taken scientists centuries to discover kuti planti inorapa asima. Asi mimi ndango kutaurira eko zvino matowani neruzivo rwakafanana navaya vakatora macenturies kudiscover. Saka message yandinaende kuti zvakakutorerai nguva yakareba kudzidza political economy, kudzidza labor market zvichinetsa. But if you are asking some of the questions Zamakatora 6 months, you just respond spontaneously. Saka knowledge inodhura kuiwana, but iri easy kuipa kana wava nayo. Zvino ndimi mavano ruzivo rwacho. I congratulate. President, the ZCTU, leadership. Thank you very much. This is a pilot project. I hope we shall continue to improve upon it. Kuti tishike pakuva ne accredited certificate session. Yes, thank you.
Our more motivational speaker is ZCTU. Sometimes when you start talking and you are controlling the program, you forget and you start to enjoy what he's saying and you get carried away. He's a very experienced trade unionist and he encourages everyone. Thank you, Comrade Kondo. One song to uplift our spirits. The president of the ZCTU, and then I will hand over to the Secretary General Class of Schools, our President.
Makorokoto, ZCTU, ZCTU, Makorokoto, ZCTU, Isutakuna, Tisanete, Kushanda kwedu, Tichakuna, Kushikana, ZCTU, ZCTU, Makorokoto, ZCTU, Isutakuna, Tisanete, Kushanda kwedu, Tichakuna, Kushikana, Taungana, Panonasi uno, Kupembera, Kukunda kwedu, Tisanete, Kushanda kwedu, Simamukaka, unosimi. Taungana, Panonasi uno, Kupembera, Kukunda kwedu, Tisanete, Kushanda kwedu, Simamukaka, unosimi. Mwalikomborera, ZCTU, mwalikomborera, yevashandi, tikoshanda, pamwe zvakanaka, simudzira msakanowe. Mwalikomborera, ZCTU, mwalikomborera, yevashandi, tikoshanda, pamwe zvakanaka, simudzira msakanowe. Taungana, panonasi uno, kupembera, kukunda kwedu, tisanete, kushanda kwedu, simamukaka, unosimi. Taungana, panonasi uno, kupembera, kukunda kwedu, tisanete, kushanda kwedu, simamukaka, unosimi. Namangwana, shenderera, namangwana, tibatane, tikokunda, varundi vedu, kuvanasi neliziyo. Namangwana, shenderera, namangwana, tibatane, tikokunda, varundi vedu, kuvanasi zvikanaka. Taungana, panonasi uno, kupembera, kukunda kwedu, tisanete, kushanda kwedu, simamukaka, unosimira. Taungana, panonasi uno, kupembera, kukunda kwedu, tisanete, kushanda kwedu, simamukaka, unosimira. Simamukaka, unosimira.
Thank you very much, comrades. Thank you very much, Comrade Kondo, for emphasizing the point I tried to repeat and repeat and repeat. I think graduates will be able to testify this as you go about your work. Obviously, we are going to interact with many people. Can be relatives at home, or kids who might be at the university today. Manarubaya makakarabaya. Nodofuza kuti asi ari kubva kuuniversity uyu uchimukwesha ndiri kutaurirai ukabvunza kuti iye uyu ndiye akatograduate 2 years ago. So it's about the accreditation utaura panapa chete ndeisipo kwamuri, otherwise hamuna musauko nemunhu ari kubva kupi nemacertificate muri kupuhwa nhasi. So zvakakosha ruzivo rwamakapuhwa kubva muna September kusvika nhasi. Muchandifonda kuti mwoyo wangu uchitaura chokwadi. Ndasangana nemwana ndokuti ari kubva kuuniversity arima ndiri nani. Right, thank you very much. Let me take this opportunity to call our president to come and give us the keynote address. President.
Thank you very much, SG. Let me say that if at all we're in a church service, I would have stood up and just said, let us pray. Because all what I'm going to say has been said already. But because it is a ritual that I have to perform, I'm going to go through my statement. Director of Ceremonies and Nursing, my mother. ZCTU elected leadership here present, the Secretary General, presidents and Secretary Generals and affiliate representatives here present, Madam Chairperson, my Katunga Bishop, General Council members here present, board members, Education and Research Standing Committee members here present, Labor Studies Examination Board members here present, Labor Studies tutors here present, invited guests, cooperating partners here represented, comrades, ladies and gentlemen. From the onset, let me acknowledge the support and presence of my cooperating partners. ILO in absentia, my sisters, she has also gone, is it? But in absentia, I acknowledge the support that FES has already rendered to the ZCTU. Solidarity Center, here represented by my brother, Musariko. Now, director, but in absentia, Dr. Godfrey Ganenze, the director of the DRIS, so representatives in absentia, to all our friends and corporate partners, I want to say thank you very much for honoring ZCTU, as well as appreciating and supporting its efforts and functions. Second, let me reiterate the ZCTU mission statement as it is reflected around us. To promote, advance, and safeguard the economic, social, and the political interests of trade unions and workers through development and the strengthening of their capacities. Comrades, colleagues, in fulfillment of this mission, education becomes the key functionary, and it is a fact that where there is knowledge, there is no life. Where there is no knowledge, there is no life. This we got it from the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6. Education is a trade union organization that makes possible what the Bulgarian trade unionist by the name George Dimitrov said, and I quote, "A trade union is a school where workers learn how to manage, administer, and turn a universe into a motion for the good of humankind. Without the brain and the mass of workers, no will can turn," close quote. Labor education is no lesser than any other professional and technical education that requires specific and specialized knowledge as well as skills in order to effect strategic national, political, economic, and social development. The educated workers invented the industrial machines that are assisting in developing the world today. The educated worker is aware and understands the governance of a country. Trade union education empowers trade union members, representatives, activists, and officers with knowledge and skills to deal with complex political, economic, and social and cultural challenges that they face at the workplace or in communities and societies. Nyanga nevataura mberi kwangu yeruzivo. 2 days ago ndakaseka nemushamwari yangu nditi ndaendera mubosi kuwange. Saka taita diploma in accounting tese kunonzinda here. But anga lot of ambitious man. Zvaizoita because wange past station yaiti ndinokutekera mabooks kana kuda kubereka. Saka aita akateka mabhuku aka pasina 2-3 months achinja. Onda kuti CILS wachinja. Ha, ndinozalika zvinoti nayi. Kuno kuchanyangura tingoverenga. Inda chikora chichanyanguka manje nyatsotevedza upedze. Akandiseka zvangu. Zvenye zvekuda kunyatsoronga zviite ndezvekuda kupasa. Indiri kutsvaga zivo andisina kunonyora, I'm not going to write any examination. Chakutsvaga izvozvo. Saka ndoda kutsindira panyaya yeziro yangaitaurwa iya chinokosha isi. Hongu certificate inongokonfirma kuti ziva yacho unayo. Asi munthu asina certificate ziva anayo ndo chinokosha ichocho. Ende nazvino shamwari yangu yakapedza azokuda yake basa zvaramba. Asina ndatonayo kazanzi handinayo. Trade union education points to the direction of sustainable and people-centered development. Far back and even up to now, some sectors of society regard trade union work as non-professional. However, the world over, the governments and the players have acknowledged that it is a reality that they cannot do without workers. Although in knowledge and power, the other parties consider workers to be of low class. And Zambia, Zimbabwe, my labor leaders are but ukatitara samanje vanhu vazinachikoro kuti pakatonga nyika dzikabudirira sei ndo panokushamisa. Kuti kuita madigiri yakaita dutu kudai hakusiko kugona. These are perceptions being held by some but not all. Therefore, ZCTU admits that education is the pillar to workers' strength as education unlocks knowledge doors. ZCTU considers that trade union education and training is part of the adult vocational development and training. As training is not a once-off event, it is a process. The National Labour Center has been offering trade union courses since 1983. It has been its endeavor since 1985 that trade union members and activists excel in these studies to the highest level. As a follow-up to the efforts made in the past 3 decades, in fulfillment of its 7th Congress resolution of 2011, the ZCTU launched the Labour Studies program to inspire and promote the interests of its members to acquire higher trade union education and qualifications. We aspire that these trade union studies encourage members and workers to learn in a free, conducive, and supportive environment designed for trade union courses being offered to suit workers' needs and the flexibility to learn while at work. It is our vision that the ZCTU builds a professional, vibrant, and sustainable trade union education and development institute that produces competent trade unionists who participate in social, economic, and political factors, defending workers' rights and advancing their interests.